Monday morning, I am in the car on the way to the gym. I spoke the other week about how this gives me that slight feeling of anxiety, but to counter it, I get myself up at 5 a.m. I come in, down to the office, and I do my work then to give myself an extra hour and a half, which I'm hoping going to spend here now. So I feel like I have covered that spot and I've lowered my stress levels down a bit. I've got meetings later on tonight, so I've got meetings throughout the day, a visit to do with someone off site at 3 p.m. to discuss partnering with them and how we work together. I then got a meeting at 5 o'clock, which is online. I then have an online meeting at 7:30 p.m. tonight to discuss another partnership thing. So I'm trying to justify coming at this time during the day. Yeah, I'm trying to make myself feel better about all of this by coming because I know that this is classed as working hours, but unfortunately in this role, there's no such thing as working hours. I have to fit around when other people can meet and what their commitments are if I want to be the one who grows the business. I wish it was 9 till 5, I wish I could just switch off, but that is not the reality of owning your own business, that's for sure. And also, I'm looking around at my car at the moment and I've got a new mounted camera holder for my car, but for the life of me, I cannot work out how I attach it to the car and keep it somewhere where it's going to be easier for me to use it from. So I need to work that out today. And honestly, my car is becoming more and more like a blend of, I'm not too sure how to explain it, but it's a mess and I need to massively sort it out. Okay, just finished up at the gym, just on my way to clinic now to go and meet Natasha, who does our accounts, and get an update on how we're doing with any outstanding debt. One of the big problems we have is working with insurance companies. They work on like a 4 to 6 week lag before they pay us. And we're expected to fund that money in advance to pay for the therapist. And the problem with that is we do a high volume of private healthcare appointments, and it's really unfair that we're expected to wait this long for us to be paid when we as a small company, compared to these are big companies I'm talking about here. And yeah, we're expected to pay that money up front and in advance. So we're always on a cash flow issue. And what then happens is 6 weeks time, the insurance company will message us saying that they have not been able to pay certain money because of a patient excess. So we then need to go and chase that particular patient to get payment for the services that we have provided. But the issue with that is after 6 weeks, sometimes it's hard to get hold of the patients. One of the ideas that I've suggested to the insurance companies in the past is that we take the excess that is due in advance, and that was shut down immediately because they don't want us taking any payment until they've determined what is owed by the patient. But then that always leaves us kind of chasing our tails because there's so many times where people have an excess, we're the first point of call, and we end up having to wait ages or chase payment. And it's just unfair from a small business perspective to have to be in that situation and not have the support from the insurance companies to kind of help overcome that issue. Anyway, so that's what I'm going to go and find out now and see where we're at, if there's any outstanding debt, where we sit with it, who owes what, and how we're going to be resolving it, basically. Right, me and James are walking out to my car. Just finished up our meetings as well. I met with Tash, did Monica's annual review, and then met with James. So things are all moving in the right direction, thankfully. And now we're going to film what it looks like when us two try and put together this brand new piece of equipment. It's well simple, but for some reason I couldn't for the life of me work out. So we'll see if James knows any better. Wish us luck. I had to tilt it to the side. I couldn't work out the angle of the screen. Oh, so you would do it that way. If you touch that flips it. That button there flips it round.
Oh, right.
Oh, okay. So you would do it like that.
I think you'll be pretty good like that.
Okay.
And then it's going to follow.
Fine. That makes sense.
You can pop it up a touch.
Yep.
Or down, depending once you're in.
That makes sense. It's because I was struggling to see myself on that. So
Yeah.
that's why I was trying to put it to another side, but that works.
There we go.
Solved. All right, perfect.
Good.
That's it. We're going to take it to a new level now. Okay, James has just helped me set this up. So we should have much better filming moving forwards. One of the troubles you have right now is that there's so many bits of data that you can track, and I want to make sure that we're tracking data purposefully and not just for the sake of it. And our aim is to become the best clinic around. And with being the best clinic comes a certain level of expectation and standards that we would expect of anyone who works with us. And when you look at the industry averages, most good physio services work on an average of about 4.8 to 6 sessions per condition. And so that is an average. And we as a clinic don't always get to that particular level at the moment. And the argument would be then, okay, well, maybe we're so much better that we get people better than what average is. And we talk often about not wanting to accept average and being outstanding and things like that. But I don't see the feedback from our patients in a particular way that suggests that we are outstanding, that we are excellent. Now that may be harsh, and some people may say, well, how do you know that they don't feel it? And I agree. But the thing I constantly say to staff is that the ultimate trump card here is you could see people for one session, and only ever one session. And if them one sessions resulted in that patient personally calling me, which again, people might say is slightly unfair and unexpected, and I do agree with that, but I'm just trying to give the analogy here of how we can guarantee that people are blown away by us, is if they were to give us the positive feedback directly to us to prove that we were able to get them better in that one session. And so it's a big thing that I constantly want us to look at and evaluate in clinic, because that is what determines the long-term success of us as a clinic, not the financial numbers. You can take in money all day long, but if the feedback is going to be negative, then the long-term outcome of us as a business will be short-lived. I am up here at Trent Park. I have a meeting with a guy who owns his own dentist practice. He reached out to me to come and meet about how we might be able to support his patients. But importantly, the reason why I'm here is getting out of environment is massively crucial to being able to develop your own business and obviously hear how other people are doing it and see what we can apply to our business. So that's the purpose of today. I want to speak to him about how he makes his business as successful as it is, because I love the dentist model. I think it's a great thing that us as healthcare professionals can take into our own physio practices, as they focus so much on prevention as opposed to cure. And if we can get the patients who we see to have a similar mindset, I think it'll be so powerful. So I love the dentist model, and I'm so excited to hear what he has to say about it. Okay, just finished my meeting. All went very well. We have set up a new partnership with the dentist. This particular dentist, he is a patient of ours. And the best thing about this is I was asking about some ideas that we could possibly implement into our business. And it was pretty much a free consulting service. He gave us some great ideas, gave me some specific feedback about his experience with us, his sessions with us, what was good, what could have been improved, and they're things that I can take back to the team. And it's so powerful to hear it directly from them as to what it is that we do well and what we could be better at, because that level of depth is hugely valuable. And in fact, this actual patient, he cancelled his follow-up appointment. He gave me the reason specific and the honest reason as to why he cancelled his appointment. He is rescheduling to come back, which is important to know. But what he did say is the reason why he's cancelling the appointment, that has now left a gap in the diary, which we then have to try and fill. And it could have been so easily resolved if we'd done something differently in how we manage that case in the get-go. So yeah, things like that are mega helpful. And whilst it's difficult to go and meet with every single patient who we have ever seen, I constantly say in the meetings, if we could talk to every single patient and ask them for their honest truth as to what their true experience was when seeing us, then I think it would be so powerful. I just cannot find a way to make that happen. But anyway, that meeting went really well. I'm going back now. I've got another meeting in an hour's time. My Mondays is honestly filled up with meetings, and they are highly valuable. Like that one there has been super, super helpful for the next stage of us as a business and what we're going to try and implement. It's been a thing that I've been thinking about for quite a while, and hearing how he's done it within his business has given me loads of ideas of how we can then start rolling that out into ours. Tuesday morning, I am not in clinic, but I am on my way to clinic. I'm on my way to Colindale. We are in the process of putting together some new content for a new website, which we have launching in a few weeks' time. So we're trying to get together some material that we can use on the main homepage to showcase what facilities we have. So at our Colindale clinic, we've got some really good facilities in terms of gym, floor space. We've got 2 great treatment rooms there. So we really want to show what everyone can get when they come and see us there. So we're going to put some stuff together today for that. I then have a home visit at 11 a.m. back over here in Barnet. So I need to get back for that. I've then got some meetings that I want to attend with our clinic managers. We are doing some analysis of the trajectory of the company at the moment, and we've got really, really, really ambitious targets that I want us to hit, and it just feels at the moment that we are slowing slightly. It's nothing's bad, nothing's terrible, nothing's worrying, but it's not quite going as I would have hoped for. So we're doing some deeper analysis to try and find out, okay, where is the bottleneck at the moment, which is slightly holding us back, and what can we do to try and change that to help push things forwards further. So I can't be in their meetings today, which I'm a bit disappointed about, because I need to be more present in them to hear what we're discussing and kind of giving my input and thoughts on the direction of where I want it to be at, and then the managers to then go and implement and ensure that that vision is delivered to everybody else and that they are then all on board with it as well. So yeah, a bit disappointed I can't be in there, but it is what it is. And this is why I need to have the management team in place, so that they are out there delivering that message for me. So I need to trust the process, and that said message is going to be delivered in the way that I want it to be. Just arrived at Colindale. James is here as well. He's got all his equipment in the room behind me. We're going to go upstairs and start getting our photo shoot ready, but I also need Gemma to be here, because she's going to be our model today. Yeah, what's the plan then? How are we going to do it? We're just going to film certain machines?
Yeah, I think if we can get up into the gym, find a few of the best spots, I'll get some shots of you in there with Gemma, like training, demonstrating exercises, and her doing a few reps. Yeah.
Sounds perfect, mate.
All good.
This film malarkey is well easy. We should just be professional filmers. If that's all we have to do, just get a camera out and film a few things. We can make a living out of this, I reckon. I'm filming the videographer. We're just doing a quick walk around to work out what we film and where we film it, because the gym's a bit busier than we'd actually expected. So just trying to work out where the best place is to position our model when she arrives, and then what areas we're going to film. So we're looking at doing stuff over here. It's much better than whatever I've got. Here she comes, everyone. Woman of the moment, model of the year. She's gonna show us how it's done. She's ready, everyone's ready.
Nice.
Everyone's gonna think you're famous.
Well, the shoe fits.
You're on that bike to start with.
Why are we getting to do this?
Because this is what it's all about. So we're gonna start just with filming on as many different machines as we possibly can. And Gemma's gonna use the punch bag as well in a minute, because we're gonna start doing boxing sessions. She's off. Back in the car, I'm on my way to my home visits. We just finished the filming in Colindale. I left James there to do some more action shots of what's happening with regards to pictures and images of the gym itself, which we can then use to publicise with other media channels that we may choose to use. So he's busy over there doing that. I'm now late for my home visit. I'm going to be about 20 minutes late, and this is the problem with trying to be owner and operator. Tuesday afternoon, time is 1 p.m. I have just returned back from my home visit. I also made a quick stop off at 2 local locations to us to try and build my network of who we are working with. So we're really trying to develop our partnerships with local businesses which meet our brand expectations. And by that, I mean that we don't want to work with just any company. And that sounds derogatory, you could say, but listen, I'm sure there's people out there who don't want to work with us because we don't necessarily align with what we're expected. Like, for example, I'm not going to go into Sainsbury's and talk to them about how we can promote our services within a food hall. So we're trying to find suitable companies that we can link with. So I've started making my list of people. I am going out and speaking to them, and I'm managing to get much further than I thought I would. So the first one I went to, the person who I needed to speak to wasn't there, but with a little bit of persistence, I now have their contact email on here. So I'm gonna drop them a message in a minute. I then went to another place which I hadn't actually added to our list, and turns out they were really open and receptive to the idea. They took our business cards. I got the name and the contact there. My next job here is to reach out to them and say what just happened then, and try and arrange a more formal meeting rather than just turning up on their doorstep and expecting everyone to come flooding out to speak to me. I'm not that naive to think that that's going to happen, but it's a good start for what we're trying to get to. I just need to put in place a system of how I'm remembering all these people who I'm talking to, and then follow up on it at a later date. Colindale Clinic, earlier we was up on the gym floor doing some filming for the new website. I'm back here now, having done my home visits. I've got my evening clinic. My patients are, one has knee osteoarthritis, one has a shoulder issue, one has a fractured ankle. I need to look at them notes actually, because I don't normally see this patient. I know they're coming in for an emergency appointment today. And I've got one other who has a hamstring tendinopathy. So yeah, I'm gonna see them patients today, hopefully help them on their pathway to getting better. My knee osteoarthritis person, he set me a challenge. I have 6 weeks to get him better. And it was quite a good moment where we were bartering on how much time I'm allowed to have, how much time he'll give me. And it seems so far that we're making good progress. Now, we did some soft tissue work last week, and I'm going to be intrigued to see how he felt after that. He's never had it before. He's about 55-ish. Never had any soft tissue work done on there. And I want to see if that's made a difference, because he's considering having injections done on his knee. And we're trying to work on ways that we can avoid doing that. It's not to say that injections are bad, it's just that they shouldn't be the first resort. That is evening clinic finished. Hopefully gonna get my reviews coming in now. Should have 2 of them coming in. Fingers crossed, because then it'll show the rest of the team that I am actively trying to get our reviews up as much as they are. I'm now gonna go up and use the gym and get a quick little gym session in if I can. Wednesday morning, just walking into clinic now. We've got our team meeting coming up. We've been doing a big review of the last quarter, and today we're just going to talk about some of the changes that we're going to try and implement in the coming quarter to make sure that we stay growing and sustainable as a clinic. The challenge always is I want people to be successful. I want them to have goals that they're going to meet and work towards. And sometimes if we fall a bit short of the goals, I think it's important to change them to ensure that people are able to achieve them. So we're going to do a little bit of that today. And yeah, I'll see what the outcome is of how it all goes down. Tina, hard working behind me. No one really wants to look at the camera because they're all too shy. There we go. James ain't too shy. He knows what it's about. And is Gemma looking? There we go. The enthusiasm from everyone is just, it's too much for me. It's too much. Anyway, I'm going to go and find someone else to speak to.
The camera's probably used to how I feel about this.
I'm going. Right, that is meetings all done. As I just said there, I'm on my way over to London Colney now. I've got a meeting with another physio clinic owner. We're going to discuss a few things that he does in his business, see if we can implement any of that into ours. I always find these are quite good uses of time, meeting with others who are doing similar things but just in different areas to get their thoughts and feelings on certain aspects. So I'm looking forward to that and hopefully come away with some new plans. Wednesday afternoon, just finished my meeting with the physio owner who has his own practice over in Hemel Hempstead. It's always highly interesting listening to how other people run their business and hearing the problems they have and how we share very, very similar problems, and also hearing the ideas that he has in how he's going to grow his business. And then by sharing them ideas, you can kind of fine tune your existing ideas as well as gain new ideas of what you can do to improve things. So really, really valuable meeting, really enjoyable, nice catching up with him, having not seen him for such a long time. And yeah, I know he's going to be going on to do good things with his business, which he's already doing anyway. But we were talking about kind of purchasing our own clinic locations, and he's also exploring doing that, as well as talking of the challenges with doing that as well. So we're talking a lot about business rates and how that can really impact what we do, and the ways you can kind of work around it from a legal point of view. So yeah, that was interesting to see what his plans and thoughts are on that. He's going to come over and visit us at our clinics in the near future to see how we run things. So I'll be looking forward to that. Heading back now, I have got to go and collect my daughter from school. The temperature at the moment is 36 degrees. They've said that we can start collecting them slightly earlier than normal, so I'm going to go and get her from there and bring her home so that she can kind of cool down in the kind of paddling pool that we set up, and then we can get all the kids out there playing so they can remain cool in this weather. I'll have a load of admin stuff that I need to do tonight as well. I haven't really got much of a plan currently with exactly what I'm going to do, but I know that I need to start looking at the various kind of options that we have and plans that we have for how we keep our patients coming to see us more regularly through maintenance programs and rehab programs. And again, talking to my colleague who I just met then, it's interesting to see how they do it, and that's got me definitely thinking about ways that we can implement certain things into our business. But there's a lot of things a lot of moving parts to think about with this, because we have 30 odd people who work with us at the moment, and simply going in with a brand new idea will fail miserably. We have to spend time with the people who work with us to get them to understand what is needed and how we expect things to run. So yeah, I need to spend a bit of time sitting down and working that out before actually coming up with any concrete plans as such. Thursday morning, I am currently on the M25. I am on my way to the residential project that we've got ongoing at the moment. They are halfway through building the wall, or should be halfway through building this wall. So I'm going down now to check on that. I am then going to another property where we've had an offer accepted, and I'm going to be going there with the builder to kind of talk about some really early initial plans on what we intend to do, get an idea of costing, and then go back to the broker to talk about the finance side of things and how we fund this project. I also then need to work on where this next round of investment's coming from. For the current project, I had a good investor for that, and they are heavily involved in the one that we're doing at the moment. And then I'm going to be going to approach a few people who I know who are interested in being involved in this, to speak to them about how they might want to get involved in this new project. So that's kind of what the plan is at the moment with the residential side of it. From the physio side of things, I was thinking about this whilst I've been driving. I've been sitting in silence for the last, 30 minutes or so while I'm doing this drive. And I think about the difference with the residential side of things that I'm doing and the physio side of it. And I had a conversation with someone at work the other day about this, and it was all about kind of time invested into certain aspects. And one of the things that I was sharing with them is that within this property game, there's such a strong team around me who I merely just have to say to them, right, this is what I need, this is what I expect, and then they go and deliver it. For example, the architect, I say to the architect, I need it to look a little bit like this, and this is what I require from it, and I need you to go and design it and implement it, and then give me the best desired outcome at the end. And they go away for 4 or 5 weeks, and they come back to me with their drawings and say, here we go, it's all done. Is there anything you want to change? And I say yes or no. And last time that they did this, they gave me the plans. I made a couple of tweaks, and then we ended up with some really, really good plans, which was predominantly done by them. And then I think about this from the physio side of it, where my involvement should be and what my management team should be doing, and trying to get that message across of what the expectations are from us as individuals, And this is a big learning thing for me here, because for so long I did a lot of this, and I was on the front line. I was doing the accounts, I was doing the IT, I was doing the bookings, I was doing all of them things whilst it grew. And we're now at a stage where I can't be doing that. It's too busy. We do too many appointments every month. And getting the right team around me and building out a strong team is so fundamentally important to the success of this business. And it's not just me who is going to make this successful, not at all. It's the strength of the team. And I guess you could liken it to a sports team. You can have a sports team, you can have your star player, but if everyone around them isn't particularly good and isn't working as a team, then that is likely going to cause or lead to poor outcomes. And you have the same the other way. You can have a team full of superstars. If they don't actually work together as a team, it's never ever going to go well. So that's a huge part of what we're trying to build within the business of getting that successful team together who complement each other, who are driving each other, are challenging each other in a positive way, not challenging anyone in a negative, but challenging each other to be better, to raise our standards continuously. Even though I believe our standards are high, I'm talking about how do we go to that next step. Thursday afternoon, 1:22 p.m. I am on my way back. I'm going to stop in at clinic when I get back to see how we're getting on with our new software platform that we're going to be using for our bookings, and start having another look at the different external platforms that we can add to help improve the efficiency of what we do at the moment. I'm looking at a AI receptionist coming in and syncing with our booking platform to make life a bit easier for our admin team and to reduce some of the early morning pressures and stresses that we have when we arrive in and we've got a heap of missed calls that we need to go through. So I'm hoping this will help resolve some of them situations there. When I get back to clinic, I am going to go and do my meeting. I'm then going to be catching up on some admin, and then I've got to take my daughter swimming tonight. And that'll be my Thursday at the moment. I'm going to tell you one of the biggest challenges of business ownership, and that is being present and actually being present. And by that, I mean, I'm here in the moment. I'm about to go and watch my daughters do some swimming lessons, and I am physically here, but actually being present and taking in what is going on are two things. So actually being here is hard enough as it is, then actually taking in what they're doing is doubly as hard. And I've really got to work on that from my own mindset in order to make sure that this becomes a business that I want to lead and do, to give me the freedom to then go and do all the things I want to do. But that is 100% one of the biggest challenges. Friday morning. It is boiling. Sitting in here in the dark, got that down because the sun is right behind that and it's beaming in. I'm sure it's like 31 degrees at the moment. It's only 9:30 a.m. I've got my basic air conditioning unit set up there, which is a fan, and it's a cheap fan that barely blows anything. But it's all I've got. I wasn't expecting to be this hot. Today I am on home visits. I've then got an interview to do later on this evening around 4 o'clock. But my dilemma at the moment is I am trying to grow the home visit service. I am therefore managing the diary myself. And what I have done is I forgot to book in 2 of my people today who I do back to back, because I actually haven't got a reason as to why I didn't do that. But what has happened then, admin have booked in someone else for the same time that was meant to be on this home visit. So I had to cut the film in there, because as I was doing it, my patient who I'm trying to reorganise has now called me and has given me the resolution. So nowadays is not such a disaster after all. But it goes to show operational and running the business and being in the business is so challenging. When you get to a certain level, and that sounds really egotistical, and I don't mean like that at all, but we are doing like 1,500 appointments, 1,600 appointments a month and growing. And me trying to come in and match up with what everyone else is doing whilst overseeing what's happening over there, whilst trying to do recruitment, whilst trying to do development, I end up making these poor mistakes, and they really frustrate me because they're so basic. And they just shouldn't be being made. Like it annoys me that I make them mistakes. But yeah, it's definitely something which I need to resolve and resolve it soon. Friday afternoon, I am sitting at our Barnet clinic at the moment. I have just finished my home visits. I say I just finished. I finished my home visits a while back. I then did a interview with someone who potentially going to come work with us, and I then saw a old friend of mine who's been super helpful in my career to date so far, and has given me loads of help in the past. And saw him about his knee, he hurt it a couple of days ago, so he came in briefly just to catch up with me and for me to have a look at it before he decides if he plays his paddle tournament or not. So it was good speaking with him. Amazing how the world creates opportunity for you, because he was talking to me about the potential, and it is only potential at the moment, of a property being available for us to be able to go and potentially work out of, which would be unbelievable, genuinely unbelievable for us as a business if we manage to pull this one off. Now, I don't know if it's going to happen, but I am going to try and manifest it and hope and pray that what he was talking to me, the price point, the locate, everything about it would be ideal. And I just need to try and see if we can get it over the line and whether or not he is willing to work with us on it. So fingers crossed. So yeah, that's a really good end to my week. And on that note, that's the end of this week's vlog. See you next week.